Welcome everybody to the Trisbrina Show. That be the
Brina.
And that be the Tris. And we are coming at you with CRAY-CRAY talk. Today, there's a lot of CRAY-CRAY going on. I'm sure you've noticed. And it's getting all wacky. And we're just finding that no matter what's showing up for us, we're constantly reminding ourselves to choose love. Choose love. And we want to talk about what that looks like and what that means. We want your input today too. How are you finding your way back to love, to joy, to happiness, to flow, even when it's freaking crazy?
Right. And, crazy is a judgment.
Oh!
Right?
But it's crazy.
Because it's every time we say, oh my gosh, it's crazy. We just got issued, I think today, Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, who was one of my first judges for Dancing with the Stars.
Yes,
Austin. He was amazing. He brought a big boa. He was a fabulous
He was
judge.
really fun.
The very, very first year. And he just issued that mandatory masks for everyone the age of 10 and over. Every place, even in a gym, you can have it off in your car.
Let's talk about why. What's going on here? Because it is insane, the peaking.
Yeah.
It's like I heard 2 days ago there were 600 new cases here in our county. Of COVID. 600. There are hundreds every single day.
Yeah.
Why? Well, because people got lazy. They got fed up. They stopped being mindful.
We had 558 new cases yesterday here in Travis.
The hospitals are completely packed again. And it's scary, right? Like, people are really going downhill.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious as soon as it was almost like when the protests started happening, there was something else to focus on and something else for us to talk about. And it was like, well, it's just too much to deal with the virus and all of this that needs our attention. And I think we all just sort of decided it's over.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pretend that it's okay. And people, the bars were opening, people were hanging out. I was seeing people at the swimming pools around town, restaurants, wearing your mask as you're walking by, but just being more open. And then when you watch the footage of the protests, most of the people weren't even wearing masks.
Everybody was, just right.
So you can kind of just count back 7 days, and that's probably what's happening right now.
Yeah. So that being said, obviously, raise that awareness back up, take those extra measures. Don't get lax, don't get lazy. Obviously, where we're living, we know other people around the country and around the world that it's not the same, right? Things are mellowing out, things are coming back to normal. So beautiful, wonderful, but where we're living, that's not the experience. We have all kinds of interesting things going on in our lives. We shared a little bit about it last week when we told you that all of our emails of 14 years were like gone. And what we mean is our connection to our tribe. Now, we've since...
Because a server, whatever that is, a server broke and
computer
the backup
saves them.
Broke at the same time. Both of them had a simultaneous glitch. So we can't access any email lists.
Couldn't.
No, we still can't access any email lists, any emails that we've written, or any autoresponders and campaigns that we've done for the past 2 years. We now can access data from before 2018, but life moves fast. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, totally.
But it is what it is, and I'm really having to work right now to say over and over again, this is a blessing that I don't yet understand. All of it is. All of it must be a blessing that we don't understand, because God is only love. Life is only love. And it's up to me how I judge things. The label that I put on it, it just is what it is. And then I can put the label on it as being, right now, the best label I can put is curiosity.
Well, let me explain why the email thing is significant to us. Because if you don't have an online business, it might be like email, shmemail. You're tired of email. You're lucky. They're gone. For us, it's how we communicate with our prospects and with our members and our students. So it's like having all your friends' phone numbers disappear. And that's what made it challenging for us and scary too. Now, we've since been able to get a lot of emails back, but they're not organized enough. Like if you had all these phone numbers, but you didn't have the names for who they go with. Be like, who am I even calling,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of that's still missing, but we're piecing things back together, and we're identifying with what we would call the slingshot analogy, which is the further back something pulls you, start realizing how far forward it can thrust you.
Yeah.
And we're starting to build the positivity around what's possible from this.
Right, because when there's great pressure and contraction, out of that usually births something that wouldn't have occurred to you otherwise. You'll take actions you wouldn't have taken. And I love that our email list, but for me, whenever I write emails, I really put so much time into each one that you get from me, and
Yeah.
the pictures and where the pictures are and the exact words that I choose, and choosing words that the Google gods aren't going to think I'm spamming you. And I stored them in this software system, thousands and thousands of,
A lot
for
of
me,
email.
like my life's written work.
It's true.
And
They're like
and
books.
I reuse them,
Love
and
letters.
I go and it reminds me of who I was at the time and what was important to me. I was trying to read some today from a couple
It's
years
like your
ago.
journal. It's a journal
Yeah.
of your business life and your connections with people.
But what about people whose homes they lose everything in a fire?
So we've been trying to pull from our own experience.
Are we cheering you guys up?
And there is, like we said, choosing love no matter what, and with all the cray-cray, right? So that's what's up for us. And we know that's what's up for you in the world, too. So we're living parallel universe here, but we're constantly coming back to, we can feel. So when business shifted for a lot of people, we're seeing a lot of businesses go under right now, people losing jobs. There are no jobs, right? There's jobs are disappearing. Maybe that's happened to you. And we were at home like, well, we're really blessed because we have an at-home business and we can broadcast live and we can create our products and courses and teach our classes right here. In fact, right here every morning, Sabrina, all over the place, we run our classes. So we've been able to maintain our momentum, and then this thing hit, and all of our revenue just stopped. That's it. It's been over 2 weeks now, and we have people to pay and bills and overhead, and it's just gone. So we're having to pull that out of the savings part of our business. So we're like, oh my gosh, this is what it feels like to have the rug pulled out from under you.
And not know what you're going to do.
Like, it's just, right, it's gone. So it's actually been a gift in disguise for us to feel that, because we need to know what that feels like and remember what that feels like. It happened to us earlier, probably about when we started the Satori Method business, like probably around 2000 and what, maybe, when was the dojo thing? Was it like around 14 or 13? Anyway, we lost our salary completely and we had to go 100% online. We didn't fully understand how to do that. And so we know what that's like, and we got out of it. So we know what it's like again, and we're getting out of it. We learned a lot of lessons about your energy dictates the outcome.
Yeah.
And what we mean by that is if we go to bed at night scared and worrying and projecting even the unknown, you're projecting onto the unknown something bad or I don't know, you're creating that and feeding that. So we are really telling new stories and creating new visions. And as woo as that may sound to some people, it's causing our actions that we're taking to be really congruent with the outcomes that we want. And things are starting to line up and work out, right?
Yeah, there's opportunities. Well, let me tell you a little story, and then Tristan will interpret it.
I'm going to be the dream interpreter.
It's not a dream.
Oh, it's not?
No, so...
I thought this was all a dream.
This morning, and it's totally fine to laugh at this. So I got up, and first thing I do, I put on my Ugg slippers. They're scuffs. And they have like a thick rubber sole, so I could wear them outside, and then the rest of them are just pink and fluffy. I also have them in red. I love, love, love them.
They're her happy shoes.
I wear them. I take them in my purse on airplanes and wear them during the flight. I take them when we travel.
Hi, Mom.
So I always have those shoes on, and I let the dogs out. Who let the dogs out? Me. And then they come back in, and I feed them their breakfast. And I got up early because I wanted to learn a new dance fitness routine that I could bring to my class. And I had seen this one online that I was like, I'm going to mainly kind of use their choreography and then add my own thing. So I had the laptop on the kitchen counter open, playing this dance fitness tango while I was feeding the dogs. And
Multitasking.
when the
at
dogs
its best.
finish their breakfast, then they bark, which means they would like dessert. And they get for dessert a smashed up banana with peanut butter, and I rub it with my hands into the silver metal, and they get some really good streaks of just peanut butter. It takes a long time to lick it, and they just love it.
To be a dog at my house.
They love it. So I knew they were going to be licking the peanut butter for a while, so I'm playing the dance fitness thing. I got my hands on my hips. I'm swinging my Argentine tango leg, turning my head and dragging. And right as I...
in your pajamas with your fun shoes.
Yes. And I put my foot down, and I'm going to slide it. Well, Winston had been licking his bowl, and to get the peanut butter, just to be clear, and had slid the bowl without me knowing it behind me, put it right underneath me. I put my foot in the bowl, the heel of the shoe, and it was slippery. So instead of stepping, I slid, and thank goodness I'm really flexible. And my head was going down, and I caught myself, and I didn't hit the counter. And then I just started laughing because I'm like, what are the chances of all of that lining up? And then what if I would had to go to the hospital and say, what happened? Well, I was doing Argentine tango in my bedroom slippers, and I stepped in a bowl of peanut butter.
The life in the world of Sabrina.
And Tristan was saying, well, it's just another example of how these weird things keep happening to us that's causing us to be stretched, where we just go,
well, there it is.
Well, what are the chances of that?
Spell dog backwards. You get God. God puts these interesting devices, like a bowl, in your way, orchestrates that. You step on it. You get completely stretched into this new dimension of yourself, and you're like, wasn't expecting that today, right? But like, if you can see it all as that orchestration for you, not against you, trying to help you grow. We are being stretched. We're all being stretched. The whole planet is being stretched massively right now. We're either resisting it or we're flexing with it. Mm-hmm. If you had resisted that, you would have broke something. Yeah. You had to slide with it.
Yeah,
right?
I was choiceless.
That's my dream. That wasn't a dream. That's my analogy. That is my
well, what it reminded me of
insight.
Is when I was competing in ballroom dancing. There's certain roles that the leader plays and the follower. Not just in competition. Just the premise of ballroom dancing. One person is the leader and one person is the follower. So let's say the leader's the man and the follower's the woman. The leader can see facing forward and while the woman is moving backwards, right? So the leader has the vision to know, we're supposed to go over there, but someone's in our way. I can make up a new move, and the follower's role is to be so present that they can feel the new lead and go with it almost instantaneously. And for years, I thought, this following thing is just, I don't like it. It's like, I want to be in control. I want to decide where we go. And I thought, it's chauvinistic, it's weak. And then what I learned is it's a very powerful place because the leader leads, and based on how the follower follows, the leader makes the next choice. So you actually are leading the leader. So everyone is leading and everyone is following.
A lot more about you. Your positioning in life.
But the one thing that was really tough is that as a follower, sometimes maybe you're dancing with someone who is less experienced than you or can't really hear the beat. You might be competing with a student, right? So even though it's Sabrina competing with a student, if the student is playing leader, I still follow. And they would dance off beat, and I had to teach my women when the competition comes, one of you has to just follow. So even if your guy dances off beat, even if the guy forgets the choreography, you go with that, or else it's going to create a struggle and a fight. And I thought that made me feel like if God is the leader, right, and I have an opinion. and I want to fight where God is leading me, sliding across the kitchen floor, there's going to be a problem. But as long as I keep responding to where I feel love is leading me, and then there'll be the next lead and the next lead. If you can completely trust that you're being led by love, it's a beautiful thing to follow. And just like in dance, if you start thinking, well, I don't really want to go over there, and you know better, even though you can't see where you're going, right? You're moving backwards. That this time for me, with the virus, with things with our home, things with our family, things with the business, there just seems to be so much chaos. I have to just trust and be led by love, and just know that it is only love. And if I fight it, it's just going to be worse.
Yeah.
And I can't see what's coming.
We had a really beautiful meditation last night was it last night? The night before. It's all flowing together. And our hands were on our heart center, and we were connecting to the inner being, that inner knowing. And if I just jump to what's up for me, and I think all of us in this life, especially this conversation here at Satori, everything is a device to help us to wake up, right? I know that's like, duh, but when you're in it, it's not duh, right? It's like we're being different people at different stages of our level of awakening. So there's an identity that I call myself Tristan, and I act as Tristan, and I go through my moves, and I have my ideas and stories and belief systems, and I act as that person. And for the most part, I really like Tristan. I've tried to help evolve him and his identity into what we call be your own hero. I think we're all working on being our own hero. And that's a beautiful thing. That's like an upgrading of ourselves. But the ultimate upgrade, lately I've been calling it soul identity, is where I'm truly awake and I remember who I am. Because it's all about the who. Who are you being? Who's the person that doesn't like the heat? Who's the person judging this situation with the email? Who's the person judging this global pandemic? What is really here for me to get? And that is that I'm not necessarily that who. I want to keep upgrading that who, but I want it to be in alignment with who I really am.
Yeah.
And when I am awake, and I've experienced great awakening in this life, and I know how to get into that state, if I work my craft and I meditate and I do the things that we teach here, I can access my true who. And all is well in that
true
place.
Who.
The
I
true
like
who.
The true who.
Be your true who. Don't be a hoe, be a who.
Horton,
right?
here's a true who.
Here's a true who. But seriously, friends, you know that when you are we said always choose love. Who's choosing love? What does love even mean? Choosing to be nice, choosing to be kind, choosing to look through rose-colored lens, or truly being awake, no matter what's going on, you see through the eyes of love. No matter how funkalicious it gets, because there's some funky stuff going on. There's some stuff right now that's like gnarly, right? Like on multiple counts.
Is what it is.
It is what it is. But only the one who's awake can say that. Otherwise you have to go passive. Well, it is what it is. I just go with the flow. No, go with the flow no matter what it is, because you're awake.
Yeah.
So that's really what I want to say to myself is, dude, use everything to wake up. Don't be this fear, scarce person, even about the money and all that stuff. Like, if you really lean in with consciousness, you're going to find ways that you would have never found. You're going to learn lessons that you would have never gotten unless you stepped up into love.
Yep.
That's what's up.
Yeah, yesterday I had 3 conference calls with that I've never had calls with these 3 people about potential partnerships, about possibly working together, supporting each other, how can we help each other. And I probably wouldn't have made time in my schedule for those had these things not happened. Right. And I had really deep, amazing connections with all of these people. And I mean, one of them ended up, I was telling her about this project that we're working on to really help people especially coaches, teachers, and healers, when they're online and they're on video, really allow full spectrum colors to be seen, not show up as like the cardboard version. And we're talking, she goes, oh my gosh, I just started taking a stand-up comedy class because I have felt so one-dimensional on camera. And we had this great conversation about it. And then another woman, she was saying, I just launched my first program because I had chronic panic attacks. And I really am feeling right now for all the people. I say, you're feeling me? No, all the people who are dealing with these
There could be multiple who's going on, right?
And panics. And then we spoke to a partner in Romania. And I did think at the end of the day yesterday, because I don't know what day it is, right? When you wake up, it's like every day feels very similar because the routine isn't there. The only way I know if I showered is I look down, and if
your clothes on,
if I have on workout pants that I taught Zumba or taught my fitness class in, I know I haven't showered. And if I have on different pants, then I know I have. So last night I looked down at 9 and I'm
you know how I know?
crap, haven't showered. Yeah.
That's how I know.
Well, I put on a clean shirt as soon as after I teach.
You disguise this.
Yeah. But already I can feel the desire and to help people who, like all of our friends and kind of fans and students that we're teaching classes places, yoga classes, fitness classes, martial arts. People are reaching out saying, hey, how are you guys doing what you're doing? And I'm very excited to help more people because I think we're going to be doing this at-home thing for a long time. I don't think I'm not saying it's the new norm, but I don't think things will go back to the way they were before. I think it'll be something we can't even imagine yet. Why would a big business, when they see how much money they can save by letting people work virtually, keep paying rent on these huge office buildings?
Right.
Why would they do that? And when people, even me, I'm like, wow, I get to sleep 20 extra minutes now because I don't have to drive somewhere to teach. And I can get right back into what I'm doing because I don't have to come home. And, I have lights, so I really don't have to do a lot of grooming before I teach. And I'm liking it. I'm liking that at-home thing. So I think it's here to stay, and it's going to get even more, and it's going to get even more in two ways. People they're enjoying accessing, learning
a lot
through the internet in ways that they would not have been open to. People would not have done workout classes and Tai Chi classes and cooking classes and weddings and graduations and birthday parties through Zoom. They wouldn't have had virtual live events. Instead of traveling somewhere for a 3-day event, you can meet with people in Zoom and have breakout rooms. There's a lot of cool things that are happening that wouldn't have happened otherwise. The water is clean, the air is clean. So we're going to find the balance of what has happened and hopefully look back and go, wow, that was such an amazing thing that happened that caused the birth of all these new experiences for us.
So that's the thing to focus on, right? The new possibilities. Don't resist. Start being more open to what is that going to look like. Be open to guidance. That's such a helpful. That's like the only way to live at this point for me. I have ideas of how things are going to go, right? Like we make plans and God laughs, that whole thing. But what if you are asking and aligning and opening and like, show me? That's been the most joyful part of my world today, is kind of very mysterious. I don't know what's coming down the pike. So I'm just like, show me, use me, guide me. What's the next best step? I don't know. I thought I knew. I had all these other plans. Not anymore. So you probably had a lot of plans too that have changed. So just ask for guidance and to be shown. And it comes in dreams.
Yep.
It comes in flashes, insights. Something's delivered into your world that you just were like, whoa. And then the key is to listen. Energetically listen, just like muscle testing. Listen. Oh, wait a minute. because it may not line up with what you thought.
That's how you feel.
But yeah, this could be the next new thing for you spiritually, energetically, as the being that you are, that you didn't see coming.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I was going to be a Qigong teacher. Didn't see that coming. I had no idea that we'd be running an online business as our main business.
Yeah. Or that we'd be married.
Or that we would be married. That's a good one. All these interesting things keep happening. But
we were friends for so many years.
It's so cool to be curious and playful.
That's how I'm actually dealing with looping.
And that's love.
At night, like turning over. What am I going to do about this? What am I going to be doing about that? I'm letting it be curious rather than worry, right? Because it's hard to shift from I'm freaked out to I'm happy, right? So sometimes you have to got to kind of make a few pit stops along the way. So I'm really doing good right now with being curious, but also surrendering. And so I keep saying, I can't figure this out right now, even over the smallest things, like what should that headline be for the new 3-day boot camp we're going to do to help people take their business online. I'll be in the middle of the night like, what should the headline be so they understand they really should come to this? And then I'll just say, God, you just let me know. Let me know. I'm going to take a little nap. You work on this. And just keep, if you saw the show like 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, it was about surrendering your worries, your little box of worries, because I had a dream that I was carrying a little box full of my worries and that I was told to put it on the doorstep of God. And so I just keep giving it over because the load is too big. And the load is only a load because of what I've decided it is. My box of worries is a bunch of stuff I put labels on. If I relabeled it, it could be a box of blessings. I'm really feeling that right now. It's every time I get upset, it's because I have put a label on what this is and what it means, and that it's good or bad or a blessing or a curse.
So true.
And I would suggest everyone right now, as much as we just put blessing on all of it, and if you're like, I can't put blessing on that, put curiosity.
Right? I'm open. See what this will become. Yeah. Turning those lemons into lemonade and using fertilizer to grow the grass. Everything's love. It's just in disguise sometimes, Like what if you could look through that God mode all the time, and it's just catching it. It's a choice. That's why we said in the title of today's session, no matter what, choose love. You might not choose it right away. Sabrina says, I like to reframe at the speed of God. I love that. If you can catch it and reframe at the speed of God, woohoo, right? But maybe not. Maybe you reframe by tomorrow or an hour from now. But always get there. Make that your MO. No matter what, I'm going to work through this and I will arrive. The mission is to get back to love.
Yep.
No matter what.
And to remember, you are so loved by God, right? And the whole point of life is to feel good and to love and to be to be a servant of that, to serve that, and that for me, God has an idea, but doesn't really have hands, physical hands, and so gives that idea for us to create. So I just keep coming back to that. Nothing matters. The money in the bank doesn't matter. So many things, it's not the point. Just
got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. There it is.
Rita likes that.
Oh, we'll have an amazing rest of your Thursday or whatever day it is where you are watching this.
We have a sexy date night planned.
Don't tell Larry, but we got him a present. Sabrina's brother.
I ordered him a fan from Home Depot, and we're going to go sit in the parking lot and text, and somebody's going to bring it out. Woohoo!
Woo! All right, y'all.
Big night out.
Keep choosing love. That's the plan.
See, we didn't have enough fans, so we're going to go get one.
Yeah, we need more fans. Okay, you ready to rock it out? We always rock it out. I'm going with this song. Because I kind of like this feeling of never give up, right? Always choose love, no matter what.
Don't give up. Don't step in the dog bowl.
Don't do the splits in the morning.
Don't.
Don't give up. Bye, y'all. Love you.
Wait, take your glasses off.
Oh, got to get a shot. Bye, guys.